The launch of Odyssey is just the beginning, Ubisoft said many times, and while we already got a ton of content in the few months after launch, 2019 is looking even brighter with much requested features, new areas to explore, and I think something we don't know about yet. I will do a full rundown of all the content coming to Odyssey in 2019 in this video and share that theory on why I think there's more coming than announced at this point. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated. And let's go. Let's start with something that I really want and you likely too, right? The New Game Plus mode. In the post-launch content trailer Ubisoft released before the game was out, they already talked about this feature that of course lets you replay the game with all your gear, skills and most of the other things that you have unlocked. So this feature was planned before the game was even out, implying that we should likely see it earlier than the New Game Plus mode for Assassin's Creed Origins that launched in February, a little less than 4 months after the game came out. So you would then think that this New Game Plus mode for Odyssey is coming earlier than the 4 months we had to wait with Origins. During my interview with the live content director Bruno, it was also noticed that this would indeed be the case, with them already working on it. Yet, looking at the January content and a sort of sweet spot in February, I think it will launch in February instead of January. Let's run down all the January content we know is coming at this point. It has the release of the second Legacy of the First Blade episode, likely on January 15th. We can look forward to a new mythical creature that will likely drop a new legendary weapon that we discussed in a recent video. A new gear pack will be added, legacy item, likely some features that we don't know about. New Game Plus would be huge like on top of that, but I think they might want to save that for the early part of February when we don't really have new Season Pass content planned. That would be my bet, but of course when we have more concrete info I will let you know here on the channel. So yes, I already mentioned it, the Season Pass content. So while Ubisoft will be adding a ton of free content in 2019, I will touch on that in a second. The biggest content drops will of course be the Season Pass content that you can play if you own the Season Pass or also buy separately. So it will be adding new armor sets, weapons, abilities, new enemies, and with the Atlantis DLC we will likely explore some new areas as well. While the Legacy of the First Blade is of course in the world that we already got in the main game. So yes, the Legacy of the First Blade episode 1 is already out, then 6 weeks later we should expect episode 2, so that would be on January 15th as we already said. And that would leave the third and final episode for a release at the very end of February or maybe 1 week later, early March. Again, it should be 6 weeks after the previous episodes. Then the Atlantis DLC should start in the spring of 2019, and that can be as soon as March 20th, 2019. Although I think that with likely the third episode of the Legacy of the First Blade launching at the end or at the beginning of March, that we will see the start of Atlantis in April. And I'm really looking forward to that content, by the way, as it will be more focused on the Greek mythology and the first civilization. So I totally expect encounters we haven't seen before, some cool new areas just like we saw in the first Civ DLC for Origins, taking us to the different afterlives to fight awesome pharaohs. While of course the Legacy of the First Blade is way more grounded, focusing on the first wielder of the Hidden Blade, Darius. But yeah, overall with the 6 weeks between episodes, it means that there's a good chunk of like 3 to 4 hours of new content to look forward to almost every month. And if Atlantis starts in April, like March also sees the release of the Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered as part of the Season Pass or also available as a standalone release. Anyway, then the new content for Odyssey will at least continue till July 2019. Because if my calculation is right, that is when we will likely see the final episode of the Atlantis DLC. And July would already be way longer than Origins, because with Origins the support stopped after March 2018. And we only saw a PC specific feature drop in April, with them going fully silent after that. So I think this means that every month till July we at least have some new things and updates to look forward to. And I think even beyond that there's something big planned for Odyssey for the fall of 2019. But let's go over the things we already know for sure first, and then I will share that interesting theory. In Origins, every month after the release was bigger than the last, with the final month, March, being the biggest in terms of new content. Not sure if that will also happen with Odyssey, but the truth is that we should see a ton of free content alongside these Season Pass episodes as well. A big thing is of course the Discovery Tour that Ubisoft quietly announced in an article while it was not mentioned in the post-launch content trailer. It's still coming, and I think February or March is likely the month we will see this mode that of course let us explore Agent Greece without combat and have its focus on learning about the buildings and other things that Ubisoft so nicely recreated. When I was at Ubisoft Quebec before the game was out, I already think that I got like a glimpse of the Discovery Tour where they showed Athens for the very first time. You see some footage of that of course also made a video on before launch as well. There were also some interactable objects that I don't think are in the main game. I'm still curious if the Discovery Tour will be as robust as in Origins, simply because they haven't really made a big deal about it. Again, it wasn't even in the trailer talking about everything coming to the game post-launch, only in their sort of blog post that accompanied that trailer. And I'm not sure if that mode was super successful in Origins, that Ubisoft is willing to invest as much as they did in that game. Hope to be wrong, of course. There's still a lot unknown about the Discovery Tour from Odyssey, but it should be coming in 2019. Other free content will come in the form of the Lost Tales of Greece quest lines. At the time of this recording we got 3 of those 45-minute long missions. And we know already that at least 3 more are coming thanks to trophies on the PS4 that are already viewable, and other trophies that have no info yet also suggest that they will likely be tied to the Lost Tales of Greece missions. So I think we can expect these quest lines for multiple months in 2019, likely till July 2019 as well, as they are expected to release between the Season Pass episodes. I'm really curious to see what the hard mode for the mythical creatures will be about. This of course suddenly appeared in the tip menu after a recent update, but was then later removed, implying that we can kill the mythical creatures again, but on a new, more challenging mode for a really cool sounding abomination armor set that I really can't wait to see. So will be something to look forward to in 2019 for sure. I would say February is when they will kick this off, after our guess of course has been added, but we have no concrete info yet. The live events will of course continue as well, so every week we can expect a new mercenary or ship for the foreseeable future, with a new weekly quest, and the Eco store will reset of course as well, adding 1 new item from the Helix store that we can then buy for 1 week with our Orichalcum. Of course we can expect new item packs as well for the coming months, with the Dionysos pack with the boom mount likely in January. Ubisoft has been releasing 1 or 2 of these packs per month, and I expect that to keep happening until at least July 2019. But what happens after that? At E3 2018 the Ubisoft CEO let us know that there would not be a full-fledged Assassin's Creed game in 2019, and that instead of a spin-off or smaller title we should get more content coming to Odyssey. The team really wants to give on a regular basis some new possibilities for play. So when you get Odyssey this year, you're going to get in for a couple of years actually. Totally suggesting that there is way more on the horizon beyond the content that was promised in the post-launch content trailer. And it seems like there's still a dedicated Assassin's Creed Odyssey team at the moment, with one developer at Ubisoft Quebec, of course the studio behind Odyssey, saying that he will no longer be at the ACOD team, but instead move on to something else. But yeah, he made this announcement while it should be pretty standard that after you ship a game, you move on to the next project. Yet he makes it seem that there's actually still a pretty substantial team working on Odyssey, and this is remarkable because the Season Pass content is all made in collaboration with other studios like Ubisoft Singapore, and the Atlantis DLC should be mostly made by Ubisoft Sofia, who also worked on the Curse of the Pharaohs DLC for Origins. Of course, the regular updates still need to be released with fan-requested features, but I totally think that most of the substantial free content, like the Lost Tales of Greece episodes, are already done. They just want to schedule them so there's something new to look forward to every time. So I think that the people at Ubisoft Quebec that are still on Odyssey are working on something bigger. Again, Yves Guillemot, the Ubisoft CEO, says that you're going to get in for a couple of years when you get Odyssey, so I would not be surprised that at E3 they announce a pretty substantial piece of DLC, kind of comparable to something we for example see for the Destiny games, like the Taken King or recently the Forsaken DLC. So a ton of content that they will then release as a physical product as well, or like the Odyssey God Edition that includes the base game and all the new content, so that people that missed Odyssey the first time around can now get in, but have way more content, and of course all the content they released after launch as well. We have to remember that Ubisoft put out a physical Assassin's Creed product on the store shelves every year since Assassin's Creed 2, with the Ezio collection as something people could buy in 2016 when there was no new game to get. Now we get Assassin's Creed 3 remastered in March, something that they could have also released in the fall, as it looks to be pretty substantial with a dedicated team working on it. Likely because they have something else planned for the fall, you would think, right? I think it makes sense too with the rumors that Watch Dogs 3 will be the big fall game for Ubisoft in 2019. Watch Dogs 2 underperformed, so releasing this sequel will not be a guaranteed hit. If you release a big Odyssey expansion alongside that, you make sure that you also get profit from another product and not only Watch Dogs, so that if Watch Dogs again underperforms, you still have this Odyssey expansion to kind of balance it out and offset a maybe weaker performance. Good to note that this is of course speculation on my part, nothing has been confirmed in terms of big Odyssey expansion for the fall, but I think it would make sense. We also have the actors behind Cassandra and Alexios, who are both doing mocap during the Game Awards in December, they noted, so they could not attend the show. I mean, that could totally be for the Atlantis DLC, but also something beyond that, right? Either way, it's going to be an awesome year with a ton of cool games to play and just Assassin's Creed Odyssey to fall back on as well, with a ton of new content to look forward to. I will be doing that for sure, and of course keep you up to date on everything that is coming to the game, and of course share tips and tricks and what the heck is going on in the game. So totally subscribe if you haven't already for everything on Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like this video to support channel, and now let's get to the Eco store to get the freaking Hades Lieutenant. So yes, there we are again at the Sargon shop. You're gonna relax there, I will get to you eventually, okay. Yes, I'm dressing up as the Hades Lieutenant. I thought maybe that helped. Maybe that helps. Like, that Sargon is seeing like, he might like this thing that I can give you in these Olympian gifts. Okay, let's roll. Let's do it. Ooh. Blue, no! God. Oh my god. I'm really thinking about like making a video just about the fact that you can get blue items. No, that's maybe not the really something I should do, but it's no fun. It's no fun. They need to remove those. So yeah, that would count as a legendary. So the hopes that I get another like really good item from this is yeah, pretty low. So yeah, let's just see what epic item I got then, right? Oh, yes, an epic, okay. Mercenary boots, assassin, not bad, not bad. But yeah, I will focus on damage, and not just like the extra movement speed while crouching. Don't really need that. It's of course nice. Yeah, you get up. Oh yeah, that will not save you. That will not save you. Okay, there we go. We've done it. Yeah, we got 2 more. Till the end of 2018, of course recording this, yeah, at the end of 2018 if you're watching in 2019. Hope that year is treating you well already. But yeah, I will open 2 more gifts in the future, in the next video that will come out on December 31st. So subscribe, of course, to stay up to date on that. Hit the bell notification to know when I'm uploading a new video. Like this video to support channel, and I will speak to you then. Check out my recent video, by the way, on a new cool weapon. I touched on it in this video, like likely that the new weapon is coming for the mythical creature. Likely, like it's likely based on the mythical creature. You can watch it by clicking on the screen, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.